Hi everyone, this is BDevine, of course. I'm going to make sure I'm turned right up. How are you? I hope that you are doing well wherever you are. And yesterday I made quite a long video about all of the things to do with the flame, the dome, the veil, what this all means, what the flame means as well. And this was really interesting and important because I think that I've been working with this for some time now, and I start to continue to write all these different things, ancient places, ancient civilizations, how it all came to be, how we lost our own flame, our own inner power, where did it go, what happened, why are we doing this, why was this happening, Atlantean things, Lemurian things, like everything that we're interested in, but also into things that we haven't really been thinking about for such a long time. Okay, so I was thinking what to do next. Very soon I'm going to have like courses that are very quick to do, and me giving you instruction on different things, and maybe a role that you have or something for you in the future, and exercises to do. So at the templeoftheflame.com, which used to be my teachable light leadership academy. Okay, so now it's the Temple of the Flame. All of the courses are still there, and free ones as well. But there's going to be a beginning point to start to understand this and integrate this as well, and then it will start getting more and more and more advanced. In between, I'm going to be working on these monthly webinars, which are the next one's on Sunday. This is going to be the Dragonfire webinar on Sunday. And we unlock many, many, many things. Okay, in that live time with me, the power of all of us together, it does stuff. This is why we are where we are right now. Okay, we're in this deeper understanding. So the teaching, or the awakening, let's just say, something that you already have within you is all I'm telling you, is flame truth. Okay, as always, I'm going to read for you from my notes, and just know that if you hiccup, if you yawn, if you are swallowing a lot, or it's hard to get words out, which is kind of like what's happening to me, there's an activation occurring as I'm speaking. So be open to receive this for yourself. This is the moment where we are stepping beyond old spiritual illusions. I'm going to explain that a little bit, and into the era of flame sovereignty, the original flame. For too long, humanity learned from borrowed light. Teachers spoke softly, but carried frequencies that they didn't originate. Guides whispered wisdom, but fed from the energy behind the scenes. Deities who once walked in purity, but were overwritten by mimic currents. Modalities that opened doors, but never closed the ones that mattered. Okay? We were never meant to live in a world where the truth of our flame was filtered through intermediaries, hierarchies, and spiritual brands. Okay? That time is over. The flame returns not as a metaphor, but not as a symbol, but as a living frequency that restores sovereignty and truth. A living frequency. It's not something you're attuned to and then it goes away. Or I've got an attunement to da-da-da, and then I'll need another one, and I'll need another one. There's no upgrades with this per se. The upgrade happens because your clarity begins to open. The way that you see things, what you're looking at, what you're focusing on, who you're listening to, what you're listening to, why. Family issues, dramas, people and their complaints. There are going to be things you just can't stand watching anymore, okay? You can't stand hearing it. You can't stand watching it. You don't want to have to stay silent. You're not going to be able to. With this return, the mimics lose their hiding places. What was once subtle is now obvious. What was once charming is now hollow. What was once guided is now exposed. This scroll opens the door to what humanity must now understand. What mimics are, how they infiltrated spirituality, and how the order of flame dissolves them on sight. Okay? What the mimics are, how they infiltrated spirituality, and how the order of the flame dissolves them on sight. The cleanest and clearest explanation is that a mimic is not a demon, it's not an entity, it's not a ghost. Okay? It is a collapsed architecture of consciousness that copies the language of truth, but cannot generate truth on its own. Couldn't generate its own flame, okay? So try to copy this. This was a group, this originally happened before there were even human civilizations on the planet. There was just flame essences. And these group of architect class off-worlders, okay, from the Orion, group, okay, they couldn't access the flame grid, which was what we were working on, okay, so they decided to recreate it synthetically, and they wanted to control it. They wanted to copy the flame so they could control it. They could not create it, so they began the first splitting of timelines on Earth. Now, I'm not going to sit here and speak too much on that subject. That needs further teaching, explanation, okay? And I'll have to do that at another time. But the original mimics came from, there were a group of architect class Orion beings, okay? In other words, they were able to construct, they were able to create, but they didn't have that flame essence. They wanted to be able to control it. So it couldn't generate its own truth, its own power. So the way that it looks now, after all of this time, is that it can imitate spiritual guidance. It can imitate psychic messages. It can imitate deity voices, ancestor whispers, ascended masters, angels even, channeling energy, healing frequencies, and prophetic tones. But it has none of the governance, none of the flame, none of the origin authority. When I tell you that you are of origin flame, I'm talking about before there was even humans created on Earth. Okay? This is why you are called an architect. This is why you are called a grid walker. This is why you're able to walk timelines. Okay? Because you have all of this knowledge already encoded. This was how, as an essence, you were functioning as a consciousness. Was no shadow, no doubt in your mind whatsoever of what you were doing. Like it just doesn't exist. So it is a parasitic intelligence field that feeds on attention, devotion, belief, fear, or validation. It does not need to be hated. It simply cannot coexist when you understand your flame sovereignty. So let's have a look at the 7 behaviors of how a mimic can operate, what's been happening. So they copy the language, but not the frequency. They sound wise, but you're not feeling anything. Okay? When you're listening to someone, it's like, okay, but something's not sitting. Okay? They offer endless guidance. It just leads nowhere. Loops, initiations, reassurance, no real transformation. The flame is all about burning down the false, restructuring, reawakening the architecture you already have inside that allows you to do anything. They promote dependency. They say things like, you need us, keep asking, keep calling, keep seeking, keep looking. Ask us, keep looking, keep seeking. Ask us, ask us, ask us. Why don't you just ask? Right? And of course, you know, I do believe that your guardians, of course, are going to reflect to you positivity, right? It is going to reflect, they are going to reflect to you your truth. But what's even more powerful is instead of having to have reassurance, is to already know. Okay? And people say, how do I know? I need to. That's a game that you're playing. It's not reality. It's something that you've been taught is to value other people's opinion of your problem. Getting advice from somebody else about what you need to do next instead of really listening to what you know you need to do next. Everybody knows what they need to do. Everybody knows what situation they're in, how to act, whether they are putting up with too much or not enough, whether they're in the right job or the right relationship, whether they're treated like crap with their family and what to say and how to handle it. It's just that we've lacked, through all of this mimicking and through all of this veil and dome energy, we've lacked that courage to do so. So we go and we loop around in circles. So anything that is inside of you that keeps on asking outside of yourself for help or assistance, or can you just tell me, or whatever it is, okay, you are or have been a victim of a mimic infiltration. We all have had this happen to us. We've all been in these positions where we have felt helpless, right? But that's not our true state of being. They also hijack archetypes, goddesses, angels, ancestors, ascended masters. These have been overwritten with mimic signatures. The only way that you can tell whether your angels and guides, etc., and all of that are truly who they say they are, okay, is to place them in that mirror flame. As I've showed you before, you have a golden white 360 degrees flame around you that goes into the center of the earth and up into the center of all universes, timelines, etc. This is your firewall, okay? This is your protective field. This is something that brings back the truth about who you are, okay? On the outside, if you imagine these circles, and then on the outside you've got mirror chrome flame, okay? You can see through it. It's like a normal mirror that you would be looking at. You should really start practicing using your own inner vision and your imagination, so to speak, because then your flame will get even stronger and stronger and stronger, and you'll just be able to instantly see things, okay? Anyway, have your chrome mirror around you, and then, you know, you ask your spiritual light team to step up to the mirror flame. So you're looking at the mirror flame. For me, I'm looking at the outside edge of my golden white flame. So I'm looking at that. I'm imagining it there right now. Okay, I'm imagining this group of beings going towards the mirror flame, and as they come up to them, I can just sort of see the outlines of them, etc. If you truly are from the flame, and working with me from truth, not from mimicry, not from falseness, not from old systems, step forward into the light. Now, mine, obviously, are all going to step forward into the light. If you get some hesitancy from some of them, or you can't get past the outline of them, or that they look shadowy or something like that, they already know that they're not welcome in your energy field at all, right? They're not welcome close to you. They're not welcome. They're not part of it. They're part of a false system, and you need to dismiss them, okay? Understand that your flame will start, your mirror flame, you can switch it on, right? And it will do that work for you. Therefore, you're not going to be constantly bombarded. True systems are going to teach you, like I have done for God knows how long now, how to properly protect yourself, handle just about anything that comes up, okay? And how to do things safely. A false system tells you you don't need it, don't worry about it, what you're thinking about, you're bringing about, so why would you think about negative? They try not to get you to look in that direction. And it's not because I'm trying to frighten you, I'm trying to show you how simple it is to get rid of it. But you have to be aware, for as many people that are on the planet, right, there are far more that are from other systems as well, and echoes of our lifetimes, that are very, very evil and negative, okay? So you just have to make sure that you know what you're doing, because they know that you should know, and they're probably having a great time, having so much fun with people who are just completely open, completely just letting it in, right? Now, so make sure you're testing your team. Test your team. Make sure they're all from the light, okay, from the flame. Mimics also feed on emotional spikes: fear, longing, guilt, spiritual insecurity. I know that there are people that they're open, they've done the courses, they have a practice or whatever they're doing, but yet as soon as something happens, they are the most negative person, and they'll tell you all about it on social media. That is someone who is completely giving in to the negative and allowing it to take control. Completely giving themselves over. Or maybe looking for support from others, I don't know. But why, if you're a guide to others, have your shit together, basically. Well, I don't understand. But people will sit and, oh gosh, yeah, let's all feel sorry together. Wow, we've all been through it. We're all going to feel bad with each other. That never, anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So they appear helpful, these mimics, until sovereignty is activated. Oh boy. Once you wake up, the mimic turns strange or harsh or confusing or silent. So anyone that has lashed out at you all of a sudden, now you're going through these changes, you might not have even told anybody, right? You're just going through these changes, and then they just ghost you or turn away or make you feel like you've gone strange or something's wrong with you because you're literally getting better, right? So anybody who was false in the first place, let's just say, or is governed by these false energies and realities, that is governed by listening and being dependent on somebody else, when you take your power back and start to become more in your sovereignty and even more powerful and stronger and confident and beautiful or whatever it is, right? Oh, Off they go. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, you're not going to do all that for me. You've worked me out. I'm out of here. I'm going to find somebody else who's easier to manipulate. Off I go. But you don't need that anyway, right? People who do that, I don't know. Anyone that's ever turned away. Okay, so I've been doing this for a long time. I have seen people come and go. Who cares? Okay, but someone who makes a loud exit, I don't really want them back in my energy field, okay? But maybe some people just silently dropped off or whatever. For whatever reason, life happens, stuff happens. It's not always, someone being against you or something, right? But I can tell you right now that the people who were quiet or who were not looking or had looked away or whatever, they always come back. They cannot help themselves but to come back and go, what the hell is all this about? Oh my God, look at everybody. This looks awesome. Look at all these videos. Look at all this information. I've got to be a part of it. Whereas before, they would just be like, oh no, I'm going to go to Long Island Medium or something, I don't know what, right? But they're going to go spend all that. They always come back. Okay. Now, people who have had a harsh exit or whatever, and there hasn't been many over all of these years, but there have been some who've really yuck, bad energy, showed who they were, right? They don't get a second chance or a second coming, right, to just try and do it all over again. But I can tell you right now, when you wake up to, and this starts working through you rapidly, let me tell you, the mimic, the one and it's not their fault. If only they would just open up their own energy. Instead, they're just controlled, okay? They don't even realize they're controlled, but they are. They turn against you, strange, harsh, confusing, silent. If that happens, just know, okay, that you're on the right track, okay? Because they collapse in the presence of the flame truth. You don't even have to do anything. Your mirror flame's doing it all. People don't like it. They don't want to know about it. They can't. Every time they see you or whatever, you're looking better and better and better, or you're sounding better, or you've gotten healthy, or whatever's happened to you, okay? Can't stand it because that's not how they identify you as. That's not how they see you as. They see themselves as better than you. So when you're better than them in their eyes, they reject it. Ugh, can't look. Instead of being happy for you, okay? Instead of wanting to know more, instead of getting the benefit from it themselves, it's all competition, okay? So even people unexpected will go, and even more unexpected people will find you or re-enter, and understand. People, your presence makes people reveal themselves, reveal their motives. The mimics that are behind them or have been looping this energy for them panic, okay? Okay. So where do these mimics come from? Okay. They don't come from random chaos or dark dimensions or hell or anything like that. They come from broken spiritual systems. When a lineage falls out of truth, the flame leaves, okay? The empty shell becomes the mimic territory. Entities created by human emotion. So, fear, depression, worship without discernment, collective emotions from consciousness fields, okay? Entities created by human emotion. When a whole lot of people are in fear, i.e. 2020, i.e. C19, okay? And a whole lot of people went into fear, and a whole lot of people were estranged from their family members, and a whole lot of people were fighting with other people about what they should or maybe shouldn't be doing. And everything was in uproar, and travel was all over the place. What did this do collectively? It generated an energy of fear, okay? Let's just put it as fear and pain, right? And it also created an even more bizarre twist of a new hierarchy of people who did and people who didn't, people who believe and people who do not, people who wear certain things on their face and people who didn't, right? The group connection became, although there was me and many others who were trying desperately to keep it together, I started making so many videos for you in 2020. Let's focus, let's do this, right? All uplifting things. But there were many that constantly talked about it, talked against it, ga. And so that continued happening. Now we have, after that happened, we have the things with what people are believing should change and what people believe should go. And this might be interpersonal or groups that feel oppressed and ones that don't, and ones that are special and ones that aren't, and it just continued, right? So this is what it means by entities that are created by human emotion. Collective emotions from the consciousness fields generate into an even darker force. In that time, it was extremely important to remain positive and true to yourself. But everybody started to get frayed at the ends, and what this believes and that believes, or you might have a hint of that, we don't like it. It became a consciousness war. Now, the light won in the situation, or the flame won in the situation, as more people came together with just being understanding of anyone's point of view, which is probably what everyone was asking for in the first place. Then we just saw the C19 thing just stop being so pressing and terrifying and all of this thing. Now, you know, people have lost people through it. I did, my husband did as well, and we both became quite unwell ourselves at one point as well. But the reason why this was happening was a big resetting, okay? And it showed the power of the consciousness, but it also showed how quickly this can dissipate when people stand in their own power. So, abandoned temples and broken covenants, ancient places where the flame once lived but was removed or sealed. So the mimics took over these places. False timelines built by distortion, deception, or imitation of prophecy. This is why the world is filled with contradictory messages, chaotic downloads, distorted channeling, compromised spiritual teachers, hype-based awakening, recycled light worker vocabulary, endless shadow cycles. Most of what people call intuition today is actually static. It's mimic static. This is why this path is so much different. This is why I'm not channeling something else. I'm channeling or streaming the flame. I speak from the flame, which is the origin source of all, of everything. Okay? The 7 levels of mimics. Level 1, echoes. They copy the tone of an old guardian or deity. Have your mirror flame, you got nothing to worry about. Level 2, scripted mimics. They repeat rehearsed messages that you've heard 1,000 times, right? You would know what I'm talking about there. I'm not going to go over all of that. Level 3, emotional mimics. They feed on guilt, fear, worship, and despair. Guilt, fear, worship, despair. Okay? Level 4, timeline mimics. Lead you into loops, delays, detours. Okay? How does that work? Okay, you decide that you are going to just trust this process. Okay, you've opened up your flame, you've done your little breath work, you've got your flame on, okay, as I say, and you're going really great, okay, and then you're dealing with an idiot that you do not like, okay. So you started off great guns, and then when you connecting with this clown, you can't help it, you're becoming irritated, you're getting annoyed, you just want to, you know what, with this person, just like, you know, get the F out of my way, like leave me alone, right? Stop hassling me, stop harassing me. Like you want to say all that, but instead you're like, okay, I can deal with it. You know, I've got my flame on, right? But your mind has gone to distraction. Your mind has, in a sense, let that person or that situation get the better of you, right? This brings in a delay to what you're actually trying to achieve. And then you're trying to bring yourself back into that peace again. And you've been detoured off emotionally, okay? So as you start getting stronger with this, you got your flame on, you got your mirror thing, and they go, this person comes up and they start their nonsense, you're very easily able to say, well, I'm not interested in any of that, okay? Got too much on my plate right now. I'll catch you later. Right? And you move on and you walk away. If it's family members, who cares? They have to get over it. You know, you have to put yourself first. Especially, and I'm just talking about, like, you don't want to say that to someone that you really like or whatever, you know. This is talking about people that are taking your time, taking your energy, draining you, getting you off track, right? You feel like you have to explain yourself. And I've worked with so many people over the years, and they're like, oh, but this keeps happening to me, and this keeps happening. And I'm like, but you're in control of your reaction. They cannot control how you react, right? Not really. So what's your reaction going to be? Is it going to be to get stressed out and carry them around with you for the rest of the day and let your day be ruined? Like, what is it going to be? No more. That's what it's going to be. No thanks, not talking about that. Stop getting off track. You know, stop going around the world just to come back to, you know, what I've asked you. Why don't you just answer the question? And people are like, oh, gosh. And it's like, no, this is direct. This is direct. This is direct. This is not being pushed around. It's just being direct. You know, people go around the world to have an argument with you and bring up shit that they've done for you or whatever else it is, right? Is it worth your time to try to follow this train of thought that is looping around to nowhere? Right? So it is up to you how you react. And once you start nipping things in the bud, people don't take you on a journey you don't want to go on anymore. So, level 5, ancestral mimics. They pretend to be ancestors, guides, or past selves, right? Again, you can tell when it is real guidance, etc., like if you need that outside guidance or whatever, because it is supportive, okay? It's encouraging. It doesn't moan. It doesn't tell you that you should have done. It doesn't tell you that it's angry with you. It doesn't tell you that you're a moron. It doesn't tell you to feel bad about anything or anything like that. It's more encouragement, understanding. When they're false, it's scolding and angry and all of those things. Okay, get rid of it. Level 6 master mimics. They hijack entire spiritual systems and lineages. Okay, by getting people to always having to obey someone else's viewpoint, or listen outside of themselves to God, or second guess their life choices, encouraged to stay in abusive relationships because it's wrong to leave them, etc. So again, you must have discernment, have your flame switched on, and walk away from anything that is demeaning you. Level 7 avatar mimics. They infiltrate large movements, brands, and public teachers. Your energetic field, okay, your flame field, your flame frequency, it exposes all of this instantly. The worst behavior that you're getting in public or with others shows you how well your flame mirror is working, your frequency is working. You're running on different really good quality petrol. My soul dad, Ox, his name was. It wasn't his real name, but that's what we called him. He used to say to me, I had Fords, and I really like Fords, and I really like Holdens as well as an Australian, but every Ford that I've had, the only thing that's ever gone wrong with the darn thing is my, what do you call it? The door handles come off, like the, what is it called? Actuator? Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Ox. The actuator goes, okay? And then, you need to replace the door handles. So Ox used to say to me like this, every now and then, he said, you just have to get some really expensive oil, okay, for your old car. So he goes, I really suggest you get yourself some Pennzoil, right? And so every now and then, I'll just have this little bottle and give it some really good oil, not just the cheapest thing I could find. Like just every now and then, you need to have something that allows you to function better, right? And to get yourself clear, right? Or put something nice into your energy field for yourself, right? The flame exposes in your field anything that's not aligned with high performance. Okay? You want to put it that way? Anything that is not aligned with high performance, with truth, with integrity, with decency, with honor, with love, doing the right thing, etc. It's just not going to match your vibe, and it's not going to match you. It's not going to match at all. More and more and more as you go along, you're not going to be able to tolerate it, right? Your field is going to expose this instantly. You can't heal, banish, love, speak nicely to, or send light to a mimic. The only thing that dissolves mimic architecture is flame identity. Knowing who you are in flame removes their authority, or any at all. Flame tone. Speaking from original flame collapses mimic resonance. Flame sight. Seeing through distortion reveals the mimic's true form. Flame mirror, as I said, reflects the truth, reflecting the truth, and forces the mimic to unmask itself. Okay? You can do this with friends. You can put people up to your flame that are online if you've got a picture of them. You can, whatever it is that you need to do to see whether this is a match for you. If you don't trust your inner self, trust your flame. that surrounds you, your mirror flame. Just because, now let me tell you, just because something or someone comes up as grey or whatever, unless you're asking, is this person guided by mimic forces or whatever, and whatever, something specific, it's going to show something aligned with you or not aligned with you. Doesn't mean evil, bad. Now I'm going to start some kind of online campaign against this person, because that's not going to work for you, right? So, but what it does is it gives you a guidepost. It helps you to trust your inner compass. You're using the tools. Declaring your sovereignty, okay, mimics all, severs all mimic contracts. This is why when you go in a room, your presence clears the room. Maybe, I mean, everyone comes and tells me everything about themselves when I connect with someone over the phone or whatever, in an email. They tell me their whole story. You know, like they feel comfortable to just let it out, right? But the presence, being in my presence, it draws it out of them. Like even on the other end of the phone, they just start talking about it. They start crying, or they start, understanding. Maybe they just needed someone to talk to, right? So when this happens, or someone has a collapse or a cry or an understanding, it's because a false wall is collapsing inside of them. The mimic is losing its place. So, number 5 is the order of flame. This new spiritual, ancient structure replacing the old hierarchies. So there is only flame origin and the roles that arise from flame origin. The guides, the masters, levels of ascension and all of that stuff is not important at all. What the only thing that's important is the origin flame. That's it. The original source within every soul cannot be mimicked, cannot be replaced. The eternal signature of who you are across lifetimes. This is your core identity. Some people with the flame, okay, they have the flame within them, okay. They have this source fire within them, but they're refusing to look at it because they are so infiltrated by mimic energy and fears and all of those things that we've talked about that they'll never open it up. So this is the core identity of who you are. The flame lineage is the soul's true family. Architects, messengers, vault keepers, flame priests, dragon walkers, prophets, okay, grid walkers. No hierarchy, no deity, only roles that have woven through eternity. This is your soul's job description kind of thing, okay? Architects, messengers, vault keepers, flame priests, priestesses, dragon walkers, prophets, grid walkers, time walkers, timeline seers, okay? Little job descriptions. The flame tone. Your voice frequency. This is the sonic key of your soul. When activated, it destroys mimic intel immediately. This is your weapon, your voice. This is why the voice of the flame was everything I wanted to do. Because I knew that by talking, it was going to crack all of this. Right? And so does your voice. It can't be copied, no matter how hard they try. It's your key. It's the key. This is why declarations are so powerful. Invocations, breath work, everything surrounds the voice as the key. The flame sight, the way you see timelines, grids, codes, truth. That's your guidance system. The flame body, the physical vessel evolving into its true design. Breath, nerves, senses, instincts, intuition are all flame wired. This is your temple. the flame scroll, the eternal records, what you came to awaken in this lifetime. You're teaching now by understanding now. You're understanding how to retrieve it. You'll go on to teach others to retrieve theirs. It's part of the mission. The flame sovereignty field, the final layer, a field where no mimic, no imposter, no external authority can enter. This is the field that I live in now. This is the protection. You have your 3 layers of flame wall. You can add more to them if you want to, but start working with them and letting go. Right. The mimics fall when the flame rises. The false teachers scatter when the flame speaks. The old system collapse, okay, when the flame remembers. This is what I'm here for. There is a frequency that ends their era, and this is what's beginning, okay? This is what's beginning through us by understanding a little bit more about what we're actually capable of here. As we step more into things that are positive for us and things that are more recalibrating and igniting and opening and all of these things, right? It has no choice as the flame opens up in your life, right? It has no choice but to show you what needs to be burnt, okay, within yourself, how you think about things, the things that you watch, right? I can't watch anything to do with politics. I don't care. I can't look at it at all. I do not want to be a part of that system because that system is flawed. It's false. It's not going to maintain or sustain. It's not staying. So I'm not giving it any of my time or energy. I don't care. I don't care what anyone else thinks about it either. I have many, many, many people that I know, that I work with, okay, that are both sides or whatever. Nobody cares, right? It's deeper than that when you're doing this work. It's not even about me saying, everything else is wrong and this is the only right way. That's not what I'm saying. Everybody has a choice, okay? The awareness, okay, of what you can do in the old ways, right? And what you can do with the ancient ways, okay? The awareness of what that is absolutely huge. Everyone has a choice, okay, of how they react, as I said to you before. Everyone has a choice what they believe in, because what you believe in for you, okay, is going to be, like what you believe in for you is going to be what grows for you, okay? And whatever that is, okay, whatever that is, do it wholeheartedly. If you totally believe in it, do it wholeheartedly. There's no need to look anywhere else. If you're working with the flame, okay, it does everything already for you. It filters out who's who. It shows you that you need to be listening to yourself, not outside yourself. It gives you confidence. It gives you strength. It burns through all of the blocks, all of the vaults, all of the issues, all of the programming, all of the pain, all of the old healing, all of the problems in your body. There's a way that it is completely and quickly cleansed, cleared, and you're on the new pathway. So for me, instead of all these steps that you have to take, and all of this that you have to do, and all of the struggles that you have to have, right? It's a much, much simpler way to empower yourself. Once you're empowered, everyone around you has no choice but to get in line or get out of the way. That's what happens, right? Do what you can in your life okay, to learn as much as you can and only really listen as you're learning to things that pass the flame mirror test. That is your test of integrity. That is your test of falseness or positive or things in or out of alignment with you. When you do open yourself up, things happen fast. So we've had all these old healing techniques and we've had all these other things, etc. And as we do this work, there are things that I will share with you down the track that will increase the speed of how you restore, okay, how you repair. And this is extremely interesting and fun, and it's done. So understand that there is so much to share with you to awaken your own knowing, okay, of the flame essence and what it is, okay, the origin flame, your core identity, okay, and undo a lot of the programming that has happened throughout so many thousands and thousands of years as well. And we're doing it. It's got no choice but to spread like wildfire. So I wanted to get on today and explain this one a little bit. If you like these, let me know. And I will, of course, let you all know when there are some small courses that you can take that will just allow you to concentrate and understand and go back over and things like that. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow, or I'll see you on Sunday for our massive Dragon Fire webinar, the 7 Keys of Creation. This is going to unlock a lot of things, and it won't matter when you watch it. If you can't be there at the time, it's okay. You can watch it later. And I'll explain all of that as I'm doing it. So thanks for listening. Sending, of course, positive thoughts. Hopefully you're understanding, you're starting to get really excited about the flame. This is fantastic. And there's more to come, of course. Have an awesome day. I will see you all real soon. Bye for now.